Hello, welcome or welcome back. If it is a welcome back, thank you very much for returning. I appreciate that quite a bit. So I hope you're having a good day, whatever time of day it is where you are. Today we're going to be reading some Am I the A-Hole? One of my favourite subreddits, of course, because I'm a little drama demon. And I don't leave the house, so I like to live vicariously through others. So if that's your kind of thing, stick around, relax, have a listen, and I hope you enjoy. So, first post of the day says, am I the butthole for not ordering my boyfriend food of his choice? I, F21, have been going out with my boyfriend, male 21, for 2 months now. He's in engineering and I'm in business. He had a paid partnership this summer that paid him thousands of dollars each month. God, that must be nice. Meanwhile, my internship was free. I've come to notice that after he pays for one dinner or meal, he conveniently leaves his wallet and has zero battery when we have to eat out or order restaurant food the next time, and I have to pay for it. I have zero problem paying for food after he has paid for the previous meal, but he doesn't even let me offer and imposes a sort of avoidable situation at me as to why he can't pay for the particular meal and I have to pay for it. Okay, I mean, it's not too bad, give or take. It's fine, being equals and whatnot. I personally like to pay my fair share, so I will either go halves or me and my friend, to save time and faffing at the till, we tend to just, she pays one, I pay one whenever we go out for food. So she'll pay for one meal and then the next time we go out, I pay, and we do it that way because it just cuts out a load of palaver of trying to split the bill and what have you, which I think is a good thing to do. I thought I was overthinking, but yesterday on our 2-month mark, he was like, I want to have a gourmet burger, not Wendy's. I thought he was going to pay for the food delivery, but then this voice inside me said, worst case scenario, I have to pay for our 2-month dinner, which was fine because I was going to offer to pay anyway, but I just thought that, usually it's the guy who pays for big meals. No. Anyways, he conveniently told me I'm at 1% battery right now. 3 hours before we ordered food online. When he told me that, I could see whatever he told me 3 hours later coming from a mile away. I told him to charge his phone ASAP because he was at home and his charger was right next to us. I offered to even give him his burger. He said no. Instead, he proceeded to play a game on his phone, causing it to die. Then after 3 hours, he said, babe, you'll have to order food today. I'm out of energy. I expected that from a mile away, and then he was fully expecting me to pay for his $30 burger? $30? That is insane. I don't know what the conversion rate to pounds would be, but that seems like a lot, even without converting it. Okay. When he came up with that lame excuse to test that theory out, I said, I'm too tired. I'm tired too. Not in the mood to eat. Lie. Right after I said that, he was literally not the same person anymore. He was full of energy and even told me to stay awake. The night has just started. I was right. I was just an excuse not to spend any money. The worst part is, I was going to offer ordering it anyways, but I just wanted to test my theory, and I was supposedly right. I was hungry anyways, and I wasn't just going to rely on him to get me anything. I ended up ordering a plain cheese pizza, because I ain't buying the man a gourmet burger like I originally planned to, if need be, because he has done this so many times before. Like, he knew we were going to eat and has conveniently forgotten his wallet and phone so many times. Am I the butthole for not ordering my boyfriend the food of his choice? No. I think you're both just being daft. He needs to just say, look, I don't want to pay every time. I want to do you pay, I pay. He needs to say ahead of time if he doesn't want to pay, because he knows that obviously the other time you let him pay. You need to say to him, if you don't want to pay, I'm not paying for this, by the way. So either we cook at home or you pay. But to be honest, if he's paying some, you should be paying some. But at the same time, he shouldn't be waiting to have a $30 burger until it's your turn to pay. So to be honest, I think you just need to communicate a bit better. That seems to be the problem here. He is really, really sweet, but this is the only problem I have. He is very nice otherwise, and he does pay for meals. It's for subsequent meals when he acts like this. Edit plus mini update. Hey guys, I do agree that I'm being sort of immature as well. I did send him a text upon your suggestion. Hey babe, don't get mad, but I've been observing something. You know, I don't mind paying for our meals or taking turns paying, right? I've been feeling like you've been trying to create a reason you can't pay, maybe so as not to hurt my feelings. If so, I'd prefer it if you just ask me to cover this one, like beginning of us hanging out on that specific day, or wait for me to offer. Like, I have no problem. What do you think? Yeah, absolutely. Totally fair. Like, if you just say, look, if you want me to pay, just say. If you're expecting me to pay, tell me ahead of time so I know. Nobody likes unexpected, expenses coming up out of nowhere. Again, especially not a $30 bloody burger. That is insane. So, yeah, if he expects her to pay, he needs to say, but she also needs to just pull up a big girl pants and be like, look, if you want me to pay for anything, you need to tell me ahead of time. You earn more, I earn less, so I need to know so I can prepare financially to pay for it. It's not a problem, but I just need to know, because when I'm not expecting it, it's a bit of a kick in the pants, and that's all she needs to say, really. Okay, this one. Am I the butthole for picking up my neighbour's lingerie? Okay. I would love to know why you were messing with your neighbour's lingerie, so let's have a read. So there's this couple who lives across the road from me, as in our balconies face each other on the floor above mine. Now, ever since they moved in, I've noticed the wife tends to do her laundry typically on the same day, and she has her husband take it out on their balcony to dry once it's finished. Now, I don't know if he's just ignorant or just doesn't care, but he sort of just drapes the clothes over the railing rather than hanging them up properly. What ends up happening is that smaller and thinner pieces of clothing, like lingerie, bras and underwear and whatnot, end up falling off the railing, where the wind then carries them to my balcony. Delightful. Even so, mistakes happen, so I take any that fell inside, make sure they get properly dried, and hold on to them until I can awkwardly return them the next morning. The wife is obviously embarrassed, but thankful towards me for not letting her lingerie get lost. Fast forward many months, and this is still happening like clockwork on a weekly basis. Me and the wife are now pretty much on an unofficial schedule that she comes by my apartment to pick up her lingerie in the morning after laundry day. It doesn't matter how many times she tells her husband to fix the problem, it never changes. She works during the time they need to be hanged, so she can't do it herself. Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that it's not the wife's fault, I would just be slinging them back off the balcony onto the floor down below. I wouldn't keep bringing them in and flaming drying their laundry. You are basically a laundry service for this woman now. Now, after all this, I run into her husband one afternoon and he's annoyed at me. He didn't shout, more sharply worded, but he made his point clear. He doesn't like what I've been doing. I shouldn't be touching his wife's lingerie, let alone keeping it overnight in my apartment. Yeah, I get that that's weird, and I feel like that's a bit weird too. I'd just chuck it back over the balcony and be like, no, I'm not dealing with this. This is someone's underwear. But at the same time, if he's not going to hang it up properly, then what does he expect? Anyway, according to him, me taking a married woman's intimate clothing is creepy and violating, and if I was really just returning it, I wouldn't keep it overnight and instead come to their apartment late at night and return it immediately. He also spent a while complaining? No, that's not right, is it? Complaining makes more sense, so I'm going to say that. I'm sure that's what they meant. That his wife was giving him a hard time for how he was hanging the clothes thanks to me, calling it an a-hole move on my part. I don't believe I'm the a-hole in this situation. I'm the one making up for his mistake and returning the lingerie to its owner at my earliest convenience, like a good neighbour should do. I get that it's a very intimate item, but I feel like I'm innocent here. Am I the a-hole? No. It is a bit weird that you keep it and dry it for them. I wouldn't even do that. I would just sling it over the side and be like, that's not my monkeys, not my circus. I ain't touching that with a 10-foot barge pole, because it does come across a little odd that you're keeping their undercrackers, but not an a-hole, just kind of doing a bit too much, I'd say. Just chuck him over the side and have done with. He'll soon learn then when she's beating him over the head with them for losing her underwear and letting it fall to the floor below. That's what I would do, not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give my sister help in anything, ever? I, 16F, have one sister, 15. She has a temper and it makes her mean. When we were younger, it was over stuff that she believed I could do that she couldn't. But there was nothing. She'd say I got to do more extracurriculars than her, but we each had one. I was in a music class after school for 5 years, and she did dance. My classes had more breaks than hers did, but we still each had one each. She'd get so mad at me for having more, and sometimes when I'd get back from class when she was on break, I'd come home to her dumping all my stuff all over the room. One time she threw stuff from the top of the stairs when Dad and I were coming in the door, and she broke a lot of toys. Your sister sounds like a brat. I was jealous that Mum and Dad bought her more stuff at Christmas when we were younger. At the time I thought they loved her more, but the stuff all added up to the same amount. I got less because my individual gifts cost more. But when my sister was mean, I'd argue that she got more than me, and she'd still say that I got to do more stuff, and it wasn't fair. Oh, I remember those days when we were younger, me and my siblings, and I'd be sitting there and we all compare what each other's got. When we chose our own presents, by the way, we were given an amount of money that we could have, and then we'd choose a load of things and we'd get that, you know, that added up to that amount of money. So we all got the same, but sometimes, yeah, it did look like one of us had a bit more than the other, and oh, did it cause some scraps. When I was 10, she broke my guitar because she still believed I did more extracurriculars. My parents couldn't afford to replace it back then, and I decided to quit music lessons because I didn't like other instruments as much, except piano, but that was more expensive to learn, and we never owned a piano, so practice was impossible. I hated her so much for it, but she would act so smug about it. She rubbed it in my face for years. When I got angry enough, I'd tell her I wish she wasn't my sister and I hated her, and she'd say the same. Ah, sibling rivalry. I started my period when I was 11, and I have endometriosis. Only diagnosed this year, which causes me issues. I bleed a lot and I have so much pain. My sister started calling me gross and would tell people at school about how gross I am, and she'd tell people about bleeding accidents I had. That is not nice. Like, it's supposed to be one of the most painful things you can have, endometriosis. It's absolute agony. People have hysterectomies to get away from the pain. Like, that's how bad it is. This is an ongoing problem, and our parents punish her for it, and they try to make us talk our issues out, but it's a waste of time. They discipline me too if I express that I hate her. I try not to say it, but it's not a lie when I say it. I do hate her, and I'm not ashamed of hating the person who tries to make home and school hell for me. I mean, I could understand why, if you felt like you're basically being bullied at home, why you'd feel like that, and it is not a nice condition to have at all. But, you know, it's completely natural. Like, anyone taking the mick out of you for that is an idiot. There are times my sister has needed help and I ignored it and did nothing, which came up a couple of days ago because my parents wanted me to tutor my sister in maths. She's always struggled with math, but now she's failing it and they want me to help her, so she doesn't end up failing math all the way through high school. But I refused. I told them I would take them punishing me over helping her. My parents brought up how I never help my sister and how she might bully me sometimes, but we're sisters and we should love each other. And as the older sister, I should try to help when I can. I told them I'd take being punished. They told me I was being so stubborn and they've been mad at me the last couple of days. Am I the a-hole? No, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. At the end of the day, if the problems are that bad that you both cannot get along to this degree, that she's bullying you, trying to get you bullied at school, your parents really need to be stepping in and sorting out some like family therapy or something, sorting out her attitude and making sure she's not doing those things, like punishing her severely, you know. Make sure that she, no, not like punish severely, we're not talking corporal punishment, but you know what I mean, like harsh punishments, like the phone gets taken away or something, to make sure that it stops, because, you know, it's not on. I think the onus is on the parents here to sort this out, because it definitely sounds like a very toxic environment. But no, definitely not the a-hole for not wanting to help, because let's be honest, she sounds like she makes your life quite difficult quite often. And on that note, we're going to leave it there for today. I have rambled on far more than long enough. I have a really bad cold as well at the minute, so I hope I don't sound too nasally and annoying. Thanks to my lovely, lovely child for bringing me home all the germs from school. But yeah, if you enjoyed, then make sure to like and subscribe. I would really much appreciate it. I will be doing more videos, of course, so come back if you want to listen to more. And yeah, I hope you have a really good day. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.